U17 Championship and Challenge event. Would you please give a welcome to the court, Northern Ireland, goal shooter, Joanne House.
Welcome to game 2 of the championship first match of the under-17s. It's Northern Ireland up against Scotland, and on the screen you can see the lineup. Northern Ireland goal shooter Ebbinghaus, goal attack trainer, wing attack Watson, centre Maynard, wing defence Elliott, goal defence Rice, and goalkeeper McCafferty, and coach Jenny Clayton. Scotland lineup: goal shooter Hughes, Smith goal attack, Talentire wing attack, Gillis centre, Wilkinson wing defence, Howitt goal defence, Clark goalkeeper, and head coach Nicky Lloyd. Our umpires for this evening: Nadine Pardo-Zammit, Joe Paddock, and reserve umpire is Laura Lovett. Big welcome. Joining me in commentary is Shona Forbes from England Netball, joining her contingency after this match. And Shona, we said this could be a good, solid, feisty game.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. Few change in personnel since last year, few familiar faces, but always a good match between these two sides. Already turnover and Northern Ireland in control.
So Northern Ireland looking to secure the first goal, and good movement there from the goal shooter Joy Ebbinghaus, securing the first goal. Sellout crowd in Antrim this evening for this game and the previous one, so some great support.
So already some nice movement from Northern Ireland in that attacking third. Shooter releasing early, lots of balance, and turnover to Scotland there, just couldn't hold it in.
So Scotland, through the work of Howitt at goal defence, get the ball through to Hughes, and a good connection there with Gillies at centre. Just not able to convert. Some good pressure from the Northern Ireland pairing of McCafferty and Rice. We witnessed this in game 1, didn't we? Just a loss of possession, early nerves.
Yeah, just both sides just need to settle that a little bit. Just two shooters there, just splitting the circle, with the shooter Hughes just putting on a screen for the goal attack to run behind to have some clear space.
And first goal for Scotland as well, Emily Smith.
So already we can see the Scottish defence, some nice one-on-one tracking, and resulted in a possession change to them.
So just time to settle, but again, held ball, so lots of turnover for both sides. Coaches will just be wanting the players all to just settle into this game.
Yeah, and I think that's just the key thing from coaches. We always try and look, who can take control early in a game, just try and get that little bit more ahead than the other team. Just helps you settle and build your structures and your strategies that you're trying to implement in the first quarter.
And is settling, changing the pace through the court, maybe someone just taking a bit of ownership, resetting the ball back, not forcing forwards.
Yeah, and sometimes it might be a particular position or a particular person that you've highlighted that in as a role on the court. It could be the wing attack dictating that change, or just a wing defence just setting it by providing a little bit more width. Like their Scottish wing defence, Wilkinson just providing that extra outlook and changing the path of the ball before it goes into that attacking third, and finished off by a nice shot there by Hughes.
So better by Scotland, settling down, some good through court play. Unlucky there from the Scotland goal defence. Howitt just called on the contact. And good take there by the Northern Ireland shooter, Ebbinghaus. Scotland getting the ball from the centre pass there relatively easily, coming through to circle edge, but then held ball again. So that's 2 for Scotland, showing the pressure of Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and I guess it's just for the shooters to adapt really quickly to that. Both the defenders had them on far side, so away, furthest point from the ball. So just having to adjust to that nice and quickly. Some nice movement by the Scotland wing attack Talenter.
And Talenter looking long there on that occasion, connecting with Smith. Slightly off balance, but good recovery, putting that ball into the net for Scotland. So tied. Ooh, coach killer.
Yeah, it's just confidence. Sometimes you just want your attackers just to get through, get over the line nice and strong, even just to pull the defender away from another defender to create other space.
So
a lovely ball in.
Excellent. Just seeing the defender looking down, just sighting that shooter early. Good play by Scotland. 4-2 in the lead.
I think there, as you saw, the wing attack, again, she's doing really well at pulling those defenders on the centre pass line. She's finding the gap really well. So just something for the coaches to note at quarter time.
Good play there. Good shooter-to-shooter ball from Smith to Hughes.
Both teams finding the middle relatively easily at the minute. Now they've settled.
So it's the long ball on that second phase from the centre pass. Something for Northern Ireland just to take note of from Scotland, and something to try and close down.
Seems to be a similar theme so far from both games. Teams trying to look to get depth on centre passes.
Excellent pressure from Maynard, the Northern Ireland centre. Good strong arms over the ball.
Yeah, and unlucky from McCafferty there. She really tried to get round the front. Just unable to come through cleanly.
Lexi Gillies at centre for Scotland. Got that strong, long arm span, so putting some pressure on. The first ball out. Well played, Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and just Watson again, the wing attack for Northern Ireland. Looking long, great vision in the circle.
On the defence for Scotland, Wilkinson, Howitt really supporting well through the mid-court, almost bringing that ball through two-thirds, which is giving a little bit more time, space for the attacking unit of Scotland just to set themselves. Oh, great hands there from the goal attack, Smith.
I guess that's coach's dream sometimes, to see your goal attack and wing attack working really hard back defensively. So they'll be pleased with that.
So shooters looking for what we call that golden circle, that high percentage shooting range. They'll know their range and where they want to be taking those shots from. Another goal on the board for Scotland, just creeping ahead now, 8-4.
That's better there from the Northern Ireland defenders. Just isolating that goal attack if she's got the ball outside the circle, just to add a little bit more pressure. So the goal attack has to look elsewhere.
So Scotland finding their groove, extending the lead and looking long, but not enough space there to actually receive the ball there by the goal shooter, Rachel Hughes. So Northern Ireland, chance just to get another goal on the Scottish centre pass, but intercepted by Gillies again. She's been strong so far in the middle.
Yeah, and it's been nice to see Scotland looking to implement some structure really early on. With 4 minutes to go, just to see if they can implement that even further.
Good hold on the front there from Ebbinghaus, the shooter.
Much better from the defenders there, putting more pressure on, denying space, tighter together on that line.
And definitely recognising that long ball coming through to almost circle edge. So good pick up, but again, fast tracking there by Scotland. Good work by Talentire. And credit to Scotland, they're really tight on one-on-one, putting the pressure on really close, preventing Northern Ireland from getting that central position and just forcing them away from circle edge, which is good to see.
Yeah, and you can see Watson and Maynard really having to work that space in the attacking third, recycling the ball, resetting it to the line between them. And looking to double up here, where they've scored off Scotland's centre pass and hoping to score off their own.
So forced back, but still in possession. Oh, good pick up, good pressure from Scotland. Clark almost regained possession. There we go, Scotland get the ball.
Yeah, great positioning from Giles there, just to be ball side and tracking her opponent to come through on ball. Oh, unlucky goalkeeper. McCafferty nearly had her hands there on the ball. Yeah, the defenders are doing a great job in the circle, just forcing the shooters away from ball and staying with them, so it's not an easy pass across the circle.
And both defence getting good strong arms over as well, so it's not an easy shot for either of these Scotland shooters, but it's just retaining that possession, isn't it, on that turnover ball.
Yeah, just the outlet. The players were running away from ball then rather than just having that easy offload, perhaps on circle edge by a wing defence.
So another goal for Northern Ireland.
It's 1 minute to go in this quarter. Both teams looking to counteract each other and get another goal. A nice pull there to the top of the circle by Smith.
So McCafferty putting the pressure on, retaining possession. Looks like a footwork call.
Yeah, and I guess those are the things that you really want to try and cut out across the weekend, just those basics, those little errors.
And Smith again. Good pop out there on the goal line. So final 16, less than 16 seconds now. Can Northern Ireland just get a goal before the whistle for the end of this first quarter?
Just want Watson then just to place that ball into the circle, just to one of her shooters. She's got great vision.
And there we go. That's the end of the first quarter. It's Scotland 14, Northern Ireland 7. We'll be back in a few minutes, picking up on the second quarter of this, the second game of the under-17s and the first championship game of this weekend. So welcome back, quarter 2 underway with the Scotland centre pass. So no changes from either team moving into the second quarter. Good start from Scotland. So Northern Ireland, the crowd willing them on to just close this gap against what is a strong Scotland under-17 squad.
Yeah, and just nice there again to see the wing attack change her starting position on centre pass. Just trying to mix up what she's doing against this Scotland defence. You can see both the Scotland defenders working hard, just trying to split that circle. So it's not an easy access for the ball to go in.
So Shona, what will have been some of the messages going out to maybe the Northern Ireland group as they went into that quarter time interval?
Yeah, I think just making more moves off the ball, just to try and lose that Scottish type of marking, which is very heavy on the one-on-one, just so they can be free, uncontested. Keep working around the circle edge, and just get tighter defensively. They've started to put their arms over, which is good to see, and just challenge for more ball.
So more of a moving circle from Scotland there, and Northern Ireland defence doing the best, McCafferty and Rice, just to close down some of those options to the shooters. And turn of possession, so Northern Ireland just looking long. It's just that communication, isn't it, and just ensuring that the person's ready to receive that long ball.
Yeah, and just taking a breath. Like, you get 3 seconds on the pass. We talk about it a lot, 1 second, 2 second or 3 second netball at times. So yeah, when we turn it over, just making sure we're citing all those options and giving everyone a chance to make their moves to get free.
Using lots of directional changes, the players from Scotland, which is just outwitting and disturbing that Northern Ireland defensive structure. And good work through to goal again. Key support being offered from both mid-quarters on the circle edge for Scotland.
Great pressure there from the Northern Ireland goalkeeper McCafferty. Just key here, just to make sure that Northern Ireland have got more than one option onto the ball.
Great work, good support from the wing attack, Watson.
Yeah, she's really impacted into this game, especially on centre passes, making sure that the first ball's delivered safely. A nice interception there by Talentire. Again, coaches love an attacking people that can defend and take ball.
So Smith secures a goal on the Northern Ireland centre pass. Scotland again looking to bring the ball through. Some good pressure from the defensive unit from Northern Ireland. Good one-on-one defence.
Just Smith being able to find some easy space into that circle. So just be great to see the Northern Ireland defenders not sit back on a 2-on-1 on the shooter and really putting lots of pressure on her entry. nice space, nice back space there.
So we've got Talentire, the wing attack from Scotland, doing quite a lot of work at the centre pass, a key player for them. Would you put a double on the wing attack at this point?
Yeah, or potentially let her take the first ball and then deny the space behind it. So put a little bit of pressure on, let her take that first ball and make sure that all our defenders are ball side, forcing them away.
So good work, Scotland.
I guess now would be a key point to try and keep her away from that line, so it's not so easy to change direction. I guess you have to make that choice in your unit whether you're going to concede first phase and stop the second phase, working on your own altogether.
So as defence, not really doing the same over and over again, trying to mix up a little bit what you're doing, just to maybe force Scotland to think a little bit more, change up what they're doing.
Yeah, and just work in pairs a little bit more. I'm sure they've been doing it in training, so it's just key just to remind themselves about the stuff that they've been learning in training in their home environment. And nonetheless, a great score, goal by Evan Howes.
Good backup now from the Northern Ireland defence. So Rice and Elliott supporting play, which is helpful to the attack under this pressure from the Scotland defensive unit. And good goal scored there by Ebbinghaus.
It's 8-5 this quarter to Scotland. So Northern Ireland really improving on their defensive efforts, rewarding themselves to have more ball in possession. I think there it would be great to see the goals that just carry the ball a little bit higher around that 3-foot mark.
And we'd probably say for any netballer watching that low release point is just so easy for the defence just to creep in and almost get possession, isn't it?
Yeah, especially in, on distance, you're passing on distance. You really just want to try and get that ball up to begin with to give yourself the best chance of either distributing it off your right hand, your left hand with your shoulder pass, or a strong overhead pass into that depth space.
So good pressure there from Northern Ireland, and Elliott on the wing defence, just getting herself in front. Sharing the load, the Scotland shooters as well, so neither of them they're all mixing up what they're doing and equally working hard together. And a good hold there. It's just ball placement sometimes, isn't it? Making sure that they place the shooter in the right spot near the post.
Yeah, and it's also really important for the shooters to communicate that with the outside players and where actually they want ball. Sometimes putting your hand up isn't enough.
And I suppose learning the range of the shooter and how far back they can go and what's their extension in terms of taking that overhead.
Yeah, and taking accountability for that as well. So if it happens once in a game, making sure that they're having that dialogue while they're in there in that 15 minutes. I guess key thing about pairings, you see lots of pairings in international netball or domestic netball where the shooter may take more shots in the goal attack, and that's the kind of style that they play. So it's great to see that we're seeing Scotland's shooters sharing the load today.
So we're seeing our first change, so that's the goal attack, Amy Traynor going to the bench and a replacement coming in. Looks like that could be Eva Wilson. And there we see another Scotland change.
Oh, a great take by the keeper. Just Howitt and Wilkinson here from Scotland, just controlling, bringing the ball down for Scotland. Making sure it gets into that attacking third, taking their time, being available on the line and distributing the ball really well.
So, chance again, Northern Ireland looking long.
Yeah, Watson's having a great game. The twinkle toes around the circle edge.
Yes, good connections with the shooters as well, and just great work off the ball, doing a little bit more just to try and pull the Scotland defence. So, I think Nicky Lloyd, the coach of Scotland, will probably be trying to just correct and look at this overhead that's going to the shooters, and that forcing of that ball in with limited space in the area behind the shooter is a problem for them.
Yeah, and just looking at ways that they can get round that, so triangle or putting the ball over to the other space to the centre court player, just to open it up and have a bit more of a clean line to the shooter, and perhaps asking her to change her angle or start higher, just to give herself more chance to catch it on the court.
Just a contact call off the ball there by the Scotland goalkeeper. So another goal on the board for Northern Ireland, and a chance just to secure another on their centre pass. They really do just want that support from the goal defence, wing defence, sort of on that lateral, just to be able to give that ball. It can't go forward, so they really do need the support.
There's a great intercept there. The keeper's been trying really hard to adjust her positioning and contested really well there, got down low. Just unfortunate that they just couldn't get that through.
Yeah, she's quick to move around the shooter. She's got good, fast feet, so that gives her a chance as a defender just to try and move from behind.
Yeah, and just needed to stand up tall there and not try and lean and cause that contact. So Scotland just looking to double up here. Some depth on their centre pass with 3 phases to go.
Good tip, but still in the hands of Scotland, who secure a goal, and approaching the final minute of this, the second quarter. Not as many changes in this match compared to the previous, so I guess the coaches probably letting the players just work through those sticky patches really to try and correct what they're doing.
Yeah, and I guess the momentum this quarter has been very varied. It's been quite close, and I guess Scotland have just taken it out towards the end of this quarter. Northern Ireland doing a much better job you know, at the minute, just with their attacking play, finding that space and the off-the-ball work. Just like to see them release it a little bit quicker. And a great rebound by McCafferty again.
Excellent positioning by McCafferty. So it's got to be quick. Can Northern Ireland get that ball down there? Good long ball, but just couldn't get into the hands of Traynor. And there we go. That's the end of this first half in the match against Northern Ireland. Well, it's Northern Ireland 16, Scotland 29. So lots to talk about in the interval by both coaches. Whether we'll see any changes or not, we need to wait and see what results come back from the coaches in that interval. But we'll be back shortly for the second half. So welcome back to quarter 3. It's a Northern Ireland centre pass, and just to report on some changes, we've got Anna Rice goal defence for Northern Ireland going to the bench, and Aoife Wolf on in that position. To confirm our Scotland lineup, we've got McLean goalkeeper, Howitt goal defence, Wilkinson wing defence, Libby Clark coming on at centre, Francesca Hall at wing attack, Amelie Smith goal attack, and Heidi Dawson at goal shooter. In the goal attack position for Northern Ireland, we've got Eva Wilson linking with Joy Ebbinghaus.
Just McCafferty again there, some really nice positioning on the front of the shooter from Scotland. Just Northern Ireland need to just take a breath when they get ball, just open up before they go with another chance here. So a really nice drive through the court by the goal defence from Northern Ireland, Aoife Wolf.
So good start, yeah, great start, Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland really trying to lift that ball position when they look to send the ball now, so recognising that the strong arms over by Scotland have just sometimes affected the pass, but not able to secure it. But another pick up by the wing attack from Northern Ireland, Erin Watson.
Yeah, and I guess you're just, with Scotland making changes, just may take them a couple of minutes just to settle in that attacking third, of who's providing the option so that not everybody's running away. Again, just perhaps that connection. And great hands from Libby Clark, centre of Scotland, just to come through after giving the ball away on centre pass.
So Scotland able to put that ball away. Northern Ireland getting the ball in defence. It's just keeping that possession and just trying to just treasure that ball a little bit as they move through court. So I'm sure that will be something that the coaches will look to rectify.
Yeah, just Northern Ireland just doing a really great job defensively then, keeping the goal defence and wing defence of Scotland on the same side, on one side, just denying all that width on the other side of the court, and just great ball in and great vision into the circle by Clark. I guess at half-time we saw Scotland just practising the feed into Dawson, so just coming to fruition now in this quarter.
We talked a little bit about that as we saw that kind of unfold, just the backspace not there for the shooter, and Scotland almost forcing that ball in a little bit. So good to see that they recognise that, and the coaches wanted them just to go out there and just try and put that right.
Yeah, and we talked about pairings, so like you say, there was a bit more of a rotating circle, but putting Dawson in there of her height, and you can see her strength is perhaps her hold, just requires a little bit of a different dynamic for the centre court to understand as well. Some great options there on centre pass, as you saw the goal attack run into the forward and the centre providing a diagonal with a bit more of a staggered timing, which is what you want to hope and see really as a coach.
So offering those different options, what does that actually do for anyone watching, thinking about what they do in terms of being an option? What are the attacking unit really trying to do in opening up space, maybe? How would you describe it?
Trying to ensure that you can create some width and some depth. The court is really big in that attacking third, so we talk about options in the forward and a diagonal, lateral and a back. And it's just about the timing of those options, making sure they're staggered so the ball carrier can make really key decisions. If they're there all at the same time, then the ball's not going to get there in a clear path.
And I suppose it's fully committing to those options as an attacker just to try and pull the defence.
Yeah, and it's where that is. So you don't want everybody to run on top of the circle edge in that central position. Otherwise, there's nothing after that. So phase upon phase, you're trying to create space. If the ball goes into the forward, where's the next forward in diagonal, and so on and so on. So, as someone once told me, it's almost like a game of maths on this court. Which now I understand
guesses.
why. Yeah.
Who might that be?
Yeah. I never understood it at the time. I definitely do now.
And there we see. It's the width, isn't it? It's opening out for Northern Ireland.
Just going to say, just wanted to see the goal attack get in the circle, and as we said previously, the goal shooter released it into the pocket, some space, and the goal attack was really driving in behind. So hopefully they continue to recognise that that's working for them with this type of defence.
Good take by the captain of Northern Ireland, Joy Ebbinghaus.
Yeah, really been admiring her as a shooter. I think she knows her strengths really well. And she's starting to read the keeper and her positioning and get lots of ball from it.
Forced to shoot there, looked to pass but couldn't find an option and secured the goal there. Eva Wilson for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than shooting against a defender such as Howard, who's got such a tall lean. So she'll be feeling good after that one.
Spotted Jenny Clayton, the coach of Northern Ireland, almost relief at that point when that ball went in, but good ball through there, good entry into the circle from Eva Wilson and a good time pass from Erin Watson.
Yeah, and although she couldn't get the ball fully through the net, I think the coach will be really pleased about their movement and their improvement in this third quarter. Definitely exploiting more space around in that attacking third and attacking their drives and being more definite.
So Northern Ireland contesting better, really working off the body of the defender just to try and stay ball side, but again disrupted by the strong arms of Eva Howitt at goal defence.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot in our environment about contesting, just generally at the minute, what that looks like, what you can do, what I guess you can't do. So it's just nice to see the game being played that way, especially at this level, under 17s, that they're allowed to, I guess, explore that in a safe way, with the umpires guiding them. I guess it's really important to be doing that now. So as they get older, they know what to expect. Like that in the circle, So it's just great to see them both going upwards to try and contest the ball in the air.
It's good fast pass there from the throw-in. And it's Eva Wilson linking well with Ebbinghaus. So some different combinations for Northern Ireland in the second half. Some definitely paying off for them and for coach Jenny Clayton. A little bit more patience, change of pace in attack by Northern Ireland as well. That certainly helps them moving through to goal against the strong arms of the Scotland defensive unit.
You can see it's a shame. There was a really nice strategy there, trying to screen behind, and with it being 7-0, just would have liked to have seen the ball just placed in front and someone just coming towards the ball where the quarter is very tight. I guess that's just the game management part and just the experiences that they build game on game.
And looking at the score now compared to quarter one, something that the coach will probably look at and try and rectify in a way. there's a very good close contest going on in this third quarter compared to maybe what was a slight blowout, and Scotland really moving ahead in that first one.
Yeah, and it's always that moment after a game that the coach thinks about, you know, was it my changes? Was it the right time in the game? Momentum? Did I just need to leave my players out there a little bit longer? Yeah, so all those questions that our coaches will go through just to answer from the next game.
So the coach from Scotland, Nicky Lloyd, making a few more changes, exposing more of a squad. Probably will give her a chance to see them all out there, to think about probably the next games to come. And do Scotland signpost England and Wales as their to beat teams? Which one is the more realistic? I'm guessing they'll look to Wales.
Most probably, but knowing them, it's always a grudge match between us and Scotland. They always give a good fight, and we know a lot of these players, so we know what to expect, I guess, and we know the kind of level of the game that we need to bring to them as well. Yeah, we always respect every team, and we're always nervous, to be honest, and do our homework well. So just seeing another change here, maybe that's a reflection of what we just talked about. Maybe the coach, Nicky Lloyd, wants to go back to where it was, or bringing on a new goal attack.
So we've got a wing defence, Onaman, Ebenezer Bohr. We'll bring the other changes as soon as we get them. I think we've got maybe a return.
I think Libby Clark's gone from centre to goal attack for Scotland.
So exciting for Scotland, lots of changes, lots of different combinations. So versatility in abundance on the Scotland bench, so lots of pressure for the Northern Ireland squad to contend with, but not giving up the fight and just trying to do all they can just to disrupt what is a slick attack of Scotland moving through to circle edge.
And I would definitely love to be able to play centre and then goal attack that well.
That's
so
a great
kudos
duo,
to
isn't
her.
it?
Yeah. So again, Northern Ireland showing some great depth on their centre pass, which is playing really well for them in attack, and then finished off superbly by Wilson. I think then just with Scotland, all their players were driving onto the same side, and just would have liked to have seen the wing attack stay on the far side just to create that width as we've been talking about.
Yeah, McCafferty works hard. We said she's good, she manoeuvres, she tries to work around the shooter holding the back space, but crept in front there and regained possession. And that's credit to the work of McCafferty at the back. So well done, Northern Ireland, breaking through, and it's their centre pass, so securing a goal off the Scotland centre pass. But good arms over again, can't fault the Scotland side just for getting that position over the ball carrier really quickly.
Yeah, it seems a strategy that they're definitely implementing on defence, just getting their feet round nice and quickly, getting their distance and big arms up on everything that the ball that they're touching.
Great work from the Northern Ireland wing attack, Watson, so keeping that ball in court. So Scotland back in possession. So Northern Ireland also quick to transition onto defence there, recognising that they need to put that early pressure on Scotland.
I think in this game both sides can be pleased about their vision and actually sighting that depth through the court. Defensively, both sides haven't really been able to counter that yet. Nice shooter release there. McCafferty's having one of the games of her life, isn't she, here?
Solid.
Really
solid.
impressive, yeah.
So more options on the ball for Northern Ireland, just moving into the same space, so that pulls the defence in, makes it difficult to get free, but not without shooting opportunities. So that's got to be a positive at the end of this third quarter. So Scotland extending that lead to 41, Northern Ireland 25. We'll be back for this final quarter in just a few minutes. So welcome back to this final quarter. We've witnessed a solid game from Scotland, looking to extend their lead from 41 goals. Northern Ireland not giving up the fight with 25 goals on the board, doing all they can just to disrupt the play of Scotland in this final quarter. Some changes to report then at goal defence for Scotland. We see Wilkinson, Talentire at centre, Libby Clark at goal attack. And for Northern Ireland, goal defence, Rice, wing defence, Wolf, wing attack, Gadri for this final quarter. So some wholesale changes. Will that just be coaches wanting to expose all players at this early point, Shona?
Yeah, I think so. It's key, isn't it, I guess, depending on what the score is and what their targets are. It's great to get everybody out on the court. I guess every coach wants to do that. Showing some smarts there by the Northern Ireland goal attack. Wilson just to offload the pass to her shooter, Evan Howes.
And I think that was what you mentioned about the shooter from Scotland just holding that space, holding up against the goalkeeper and just being a little bit higher in the circle just to give more backspace and more of a target for those feeders to put the ball in.
Yeah, McCafferty, she's continually changing where she's placing herself. She's already turned one ball over this quarter and you can already see she's trying to adjust it so the shooter's going to land further away from the post.
Oh, great pick up there, unlucky.
I guess we have two Holden shooters each end, at the moment. Difference being, I think the Northern Ireland goal shooter is adjusting continually.
Ebenezer Bohr at wing defence for Scotland, just strong arms over, good elevation and really tracking well. Just got caught there on the contact but not giving up the fight around the circle edge. Another goal on the board for Northern Ireland and it's their centre pass.
And I suppose with the wing defence position, it's talked a lot about in our game as being, as some describe, the lost position, but it's one of the, if not the most important on the court.
And I suppose the wing defence can almost put those strong arms over just to set up that lofted ball that maybe get picked off by the circle defence then.
Yeah, I know goal defences and goalkeepers always talk about how key their wing defence is to them. Like you say, putting that 3-foot marker over just to put some either doubt into the feeder or giving it a lofted pass into the circle just to give them more time to adjust their feet and make them look brilliant on the court when they intercept it.
Nice and controlled from the Scotland goal attack there. Libby Clark just using that out and in just to position herself in a better position. But good front position from the goal defence for Northern Ireland. So a little bit of ping pong through the court.
Just Dawson there, just finding her angle of where she wants the ball and being more strong and presenting her arm to her feeder where she wants it. And then converting for Scotland, making them go to 43.
Superb take. Straight out off the line there. Ebenezer Bohr for Scotland in the wing defence position and back supporting the play. And looking for options, so well done Northern Ireland, closing down, forcing those players wide and to that non-ball side.
Shot there by Wilson. It's hard at times as a shooter when you've missed a couple, just to keep confident and keep going to post. And so great from her to take on the shot and not offload it to her shooter.
So big shout out to the sponsors for Netball Northern Ireland, specific sponsors for the under-17s, Asa Ploy, the Cavoy Group, William Wilson Accountants and Netball Northern Ireland Partners, Sport Northern Ireland. Antrim and Newton Abbey Council, Netball UK, Cookery Sports, Department for Communities, Kingsbridge Private Hospital Group, Galgum, Gerflaw, J&K Coaches, and J Hattie and Co Insurance. So lots of support, really essential, and that support and thanks going out to all of those just helping and supporting Netball Northern Ireland.
Just Ebenezer Ball just having a great quarter here, just challenging everything in that attacking third. So just looking for Ruby Gargi just to being a little bit more clinical in her movement off the ball, just to lose her. And looking at her angles rather than just driving quite flat.
Always looking for that forward option, Scotland, and that opened out nicely for them going through to goal. You might call that the straight line, worked it well through to post. But as you said, the wing defence, Ebenezer Ball, she's got real athleticism out there, hasn't she?
Yeah, okay. We talked about, impact players. She's definitely one of those. I reckon she's probably got scope to play one or two more positions under her belt as well. She might not like me saying that, but I reckon she could definitely go in the centre position perhaps, maybe even goal defence and still turn ball there.
So resetting the ball back, Northern Ireland using Rice on the transverse line, so chance to get a goal in on the penalty.
Really wanted them to convert that then. It's 4-4 in this quarter. Just to build a little bit more momentum and confidence going into the last quarter.
So lots of positives to take away for Jenny, the coach of Northern Ireland. Been some much closer quarters, certainly the second half we've noticed in terms of scoreline and deficit.
Yeah, and it could just be first game nerves. They're playing in front of a crowd on their home turf. And I know that we felt that last year, for example, so yeah, it could be just that. But lots of credit to them. They've worked really hard, they've listened to their coaches and the instructions that they've told them, and they're definitely implementing it. Just more patient through the court. Just waiting for that option to pop out.
You get the sense Northern Ireland, they're aware now of where the defence are, so just trying to pin themselves in front or at least take the defender away. So a lot more prelim movements really. The prelims really helped them. But a much better second half performance so far from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and they're also transitioning from attack to defence much quicker. That's also something we talk about in netball, being able to transition from switching your brain from attacking to defence and defence to attack, and it is hard. It is hard for young players to learn that as well, so they're doing a great job of that in this game today.
So whistle's gone, looks like another change for Scotland. So changing the goal attack position, new wing attack.
It's Libby Clark going from goal attack to wing attack. Very versatile player.
Playing multiple positions as we witnessed a superb intercept there. What we call the backing up from Ebenezer Ball on the circle edge. Oh, an unfortunate footwork call. Scotland not able to secure that goal. It's a great intercept in the defensive end. Oh, there she goes again. You talked about impact player, just caught on a footwork though.
Yeah, and that'll come. All these players are really young, still learning basics under pressure. You don't always get to simulate that in your environment, so she's definitely one to watch.
So Scotland working much harder off their centre pass now with the pressure from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and just McCafferty and Rice again working really well together. It's not easy to get that ball in the circle for Scotland. So definitely something for them to take away from this game. Oh, just release points as well, very low chest pass. Over distance, not always the preferred choice.
And Ebenezer Board just ready to take everything, isn't she?
Yeah.
Just totally on it, the vision, the head's up there.
The highest possession gain count in this game in 30 minutes. McCafferty's been doing a great job this game, and it's just great to see her adapting all the time, and hopefully she can take the positives from this game into the next. She's played against a rotating circle and a tall static shooter, and that's quite hard for a keeper.
Definitely adjusted well. Northern Ireland not without possession, so enormous positives for them to take into tomorrow's match. As we see captain Ebbinghaus just securing another goal on the board, so 19-goal deficit. At times the deficit doesn't reflect the competitiveness of this game and indeed the work of Northern Ireland on defence to disrupt what Scotland were doing. But clinical through the court, Scotland, a lot of the time really working on their set structures, and that's showing. But some great work and impact work of Ebenezer Boer as well at wing defence in this second half.
Another change here for Scotland in the goalkeeper position. The coach, Nikki, just putting all her squad members on.
So just electing to make some changes in the final minutes of this game.
Just putting Ely Clark back on, who started the game.
So this is the first championship game of this competition. So in the championship group we've got England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, United Arab Emirates and Wales. So tomorrow, first game up, which is actually game 3, will be Gibraltar versus the Isle of Man, and that will be in the challenge. And then the second game of tomorrow morning is Northern Ireland Development versus Switzerland. Then we move into our championship matches, England versus UAE. So first 3 games, 7 games in total tomorrow throughout the championship and the challenge competition. So a big day in Antrim and a big day of streaming for anyone out there wanting to tune in. We hope you do as we move into the final minute of the final quarter. So credit to Scotland, definitely worked hard. I'm sure they've got take homes. They'll be looking to make some improvements And as we've said, we've been particularly impressed with the way Northern Ireland have just continued to put pressure on Shona as they've gone through this match and reduced the deficit in each of the quarters after the first.
Yeah, and I think in any of the combinations that the coach has put on, it's been the same. So I think that's also a real positive for them. It's been quite seamless. Again, just wanting them to put the ball in at the end there, a bit of time management.
So there we go, that's a great win on the board for Scotland against the home nation, Northern Ireland. 54 goals to Scotland, 32 to Northern Ireland. It's been a great first evening of this event, the championship and the challenge competition. So we're signing off now and we look forward to you joining us tomorrow on the streaming, and we're looking forward to 7 games of action tomorrow here in Antrim.